FastMCP 3 implements component transformation through a middleware pipeline pattern, where each transform, subclass intercepts, and modifies tool sequences and individual tool lookups using distinct method signatures. The PrefixTransform demonstrates this dual pattern approach by applying name prefixing during both enumeration and retrieval operations. We'll examine how this transform initializes with a prefix string, then modifies tool names during listing via pure function transformation, while reversing the prefix during individual tool retrieval through middleware-style name mapping. The code reveals how the transform maintains consistency between these two operational modes while preserving the original tool structure.
Class PrefixTransform transform. Definite self prefix, SDR. Self prefix equals prefix. Async def list tool self, tools. Sequence tool. Return T, model copy update equals name. F self, prefix T name for T and tools. Async def get tool self name. SDR call next. Get tool next tool none. Hash reverse the prefix to find the original. If not name, starts with self prefix. Return none. Original equals nameland self, prefix +1. Tool equals await call next original. If tool. Return tool, model copy update equals name. Return none.
The PrefixTransform implements a bidirectional name transformation pattern for tools in the FastMCP pipeline. It operates as a pure function in list tools, prepending a configurable prefix to all tool names while preserving the original tool objects via model copy. This creates a namespaced view of tools without modifying the underlying components. The reverse operation happens in getTool, where it first validates the prefix, then strips it to recover the original name before delegating to the next transform via callNext. This middleware pattern enables clean name isolation while maintaining the original tool identity. The design uses a simple string manipulation approach with starts with, validation, and slice-based prefix removal, which is efficient but assumes the prefix doesn't contain underscores. The transform returns none for non-matching names, allowing the pipeline to continue searching. This pattern is particularly useful for preventing naming collisions when composing multiple providers, though it adds a small overhead to every tool lookup. The implementation demonstrates FastMCP's transform contract, where list tools handles bulk transformations, while getTool manages individual lookups with name translation. Let's break it down.
Class PrefixTransform transform.
Defines a new class named PrefixTransform that inherits from a base class, Transform. This establishes PrefixTransform as a specialized type of transform, indicating it will likely implement or override transformation-related functionality while maintaining compatibility with the parent class's interface. The line itself only declares the class structure without revealing implementation details or additional behavior.
Definite self prefix, SDR. Self prefix equals prefix.
Defines an init method that takes a prefix parameter of type string and assigns it to an instance variable self prefix. This initializes the object with the provided prefix value, making it available for use by other methods in the class.
Async def list tool self, tools. Sequence tool. Return T, model copy update equals name. F self, prefix T name for T and tools.
Defines an asynchronous method, list tools, that takes a sequence of tool objects and returns a new sequence where each tool's name is prefixed with self prefix. The method uses a list comprehension to create copies of each tool via model copy, updating only the name attribute by prepending the instance's prefix followed by an underscore. The original tools remain unmodified, and the operation preserves all other tool properties while transforming only the names in the return collection.
Async def get tool self name, SDR call next, get tool next tool none.
Defines an asynchronous method named getTool that takes a string parameter name and a callNext parameter of type getToolNext, returning either a tool, object, or none. The method is part of a class implied by self-parameter and will perform some asynchronous operation to retrieve a tool by name, with the callNext parameter likely used for continuation or fallback behavior in the tool resolution process.
If not name, starts with self prefix. Return none.
Checks if the variable name starts with a specific prefix stored in self prefix, followed by an underscore. If the name doesn't match this pattern, the function returns none, effectively filtering out names that don't conform to the expected prefix format.
Original equals nameland self, prefix +1.
Extracts a substring from the variable name, starting right after the prefix accounting for its length plus one additional character, assigning the result to original. This effectively strips the prefix and any immediate separator like a dot or slash from the beginning of the string.
Tool equals await call next original.
Awaits the execution of callNext with the original parameter, assigning the result to the variable tool. This line demonstrates asynchronous delegation, where control is passed to the next middleware or handler in the chain, and execution pauses until the result is returned. The original parameter is forwarded to callNext, and the returned value is stored in tool for subsequent use.
If tool, return tool, model copy update equals name, name.
Returns a copy of the tool object with its name attribute updated to the value of the name variable. The model copy method creates a new instance with the specified modification while preserving all other attributes of the original tool object.
Return none.
Returns none explicitly from the current function or method, indicating no meaningful value is produced by this execution path. This is an intentional exit point that communicates to callers they should not expect a usable result. The PrefixTransform demonstrates FastMCP3's middleware pipeline pattern through a dual-mode transformation approach. During tool enumeration, it operates as a pure function in list tools, applying a configurable prefix to all tool names while preserving original objects via model copy. This creates a namespaced view without modifying underlying components. The reverse operation occurs in getTool, where it validates the prefix, strips it to recover the original name, then delegates to the next transform via callNext before restoring the prefixed name. This bidirectional pattern maintains consistency between bulk listing and individual retrieval while preventing naming collisions in composed systems. The design trades minimal lookup overhead for clean name isolation, using simple string manipulation with starts with, validation, and slice-based prefix removal. The transform's none return for non-matching names allows the pipeline to continue searching, demonstrating FastMCP's contract, where list tools handles bulk transformations and getTool manages individual lookups with name translation.
The prefix strips its own shadow from every name, then stitches it back on.